All right, hi Melissa. This is you're next on my list for doing the site critiques and SEO critiques. Um, so we'll just get to it. I got nothing else really to say for the intro. But so this is my first time coming to your site. I want to make each critique to be as realistic as first impressionable, if that's even a word, as possible. So first impression is I don't like this. I want to leave immediately. If it works for you. If this works to capture their email address, by all means, you can still utilize it, but there are ways to do this without being upfront and blunt with it. This might be one of the reasons why you have more than you expect of people leaving your site. At the very least, what you could do is that when someone mouses away from the main site here, so when they go to, let's say, close the browser, then it pops up. That will work much faster and easier to capture the email addresses, but don't do it in the beginning. It is a turnoff for a lot of people. Unless, of course, if they're going to a site they know they're probably going to be entering in their email address, such as a blog who uses email subscribers to make their money, by ads, excuse me. Excuse me again. Then that's a different story. But since we're coming to a site to be looking at services, hopefully, I wouldn't have it on there. I would just take it off or find a completely different way to bring that up, to bring it to their attention. So, anyway, so let's get to it. I'm liking the site. I'm liking the backgrounds. That's actually kind of cool. It's not often that you see kind of a watercolor splash on there. I'm usually not one to do a lot of artistic styles on a site, but it works. I like it. So we'll kind of scroll down here for a little bit. Jumpin' Jack's Designs. I'm going to assume this is a WordPress site. Yes, it is. Okay. And then I'm going to assume probably a custom theme. This doesn't look like it's pro photo. So, all right, so let's go ahead and go through here real quick. I'm glad to see that you have that there. It's not often that I see an actual profile photo, or at least a photo of who the photographer is. It kind of immediately lets me know that you are a real person. Excuse me again. Apparently you're my 5th video so far for the evening, and I'm sure my throat's getting drier than I expected. So anyway, so let's take a look here real quick. Hands-on workshops. Okay, so personally, I'm a little torn on this here. Don't just take this with a grain of salt. Don't take it to heart. I guess I still do practice photography. I don't do it quote unquote professionally anymore unless asked by a family or friend. But it's this I think this works for you, because this at least tells the person that that you do have the experience and the knowledge and expertise to give them quality photos, quality product, service once they do hire you. So I'm almost kind of wondering too if maybe you shouldn't put that more towards the top. I wouldn't. Let's see. Welcome to. Usually for about me sections, and this is pretty typical. I'm not trying to oust you or talk down on you. A lot of photographers, mainly women, get pretty personal, talking about how they're a wife and married, or if they're loving life, loving photography, that kind of thing. You can still do that, but don't overdo it. The about section from a marketing standpoint should be who you are as a company, what you do, and how you do it. You can still add in those personal touches, maybe in a different section in the about me in the about page. Such as like a personal, learn more about your photographer, know more about me, that kind of thing. Personally get to know me. But you really want to keep it focused more about who you are as a business, what you do as a business, how you do it, that kind of thing. I'm glad to see that there's some length here, which is good. It's not common that I see a lot of photographers include length in their about section, or really on any page for that matter. Though I think it's a little bit too much. It's a little too lengthy. The only reason why I say that is because the attention span of people is less than a goldfish, which is 4 seconds. Less than 4 seconds, actually. It's like 3.8 seconds is what someone's attention span is online. So, you know, seeing a lot of text might turn someone off. I know that. This is cool. I've probably worked with at least 10 or 15 other newborn photographers, probably more, offering, you know, free advice such as this. None of them that I have ever talked to have mentioned on their site that they are infant and child CPR certified. That, you need to put that in big bold letters at the top of the site, girl, because that's going to be a huge selling point for you. The fact that, you know, that the child's safety is your absolute #1 priority over everything. So I would definitely highlight this. You know, maybe even maybe shift everything around. You've got the what and why. Put it up here at the top, and then maybe at the bottom, you know, more about me personally, or more about your photographer, you know. And but that's really cool. I've never seen that before, so kudos to you. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about that because I don't want to bore you with all the geeky stuff. Okay, so check out your blog post here real quick. Okay, so we have a blog post. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay. You may want to consider, too, utilizing... WordPress does have a feature called More. It's within when you're actually doing the blog post, there is... I can't even think what the icon looks like, but you can actually include... You put your cursor somewhere, and wherever that cursor is at, you hit More. You hit this More icon, and it will automatically shorten the blog post, and it adds a link that says like read more, because right now it's a little bit lengthy, and it seems like I'm kind of reading one super long blog post until I get to the images. So that might be an option for you. So we'll click on one of these blogs here real quick. Okay, so we got good amount of text. Very well. Very, very good. Not only is that good for SEO, but it's good. That's actually fantastic for SEO. The fact that you are writing a lot in a blog post. I'm glad to see that. I'm not going to go through the entire blog post, obviously. That would take me a couple minutes, and that would really be a boring thing to see, is me just looking at it and reading. But make sure that you are including keywords in here that you want to be found for. Make it sound natural. You can use photographer and photography in the same blog post, but don't say. The one example I always give people is if someone asks you what you do, you say, I'm a newborn photographer. You don't say, I'm a newborn photographer that does newborn photography. Well, you've kind of already said what you do twice. So just make it sound natural. The other thing is down here, I'm not quite sure if this is going to... I got a funny feeling this will probably hurt you more than help you. And I don't... I'm assuming you have this on every blog post. I suppose I could take my own device and just hit the next button, to the back. Oh, well. Okay, let's take a look. Let's click on this one here real quick. I think you can utilize this better. You've got your Facebook page here and send interior message. Turn this into a call to action area, an actual link that takes them to your to like a lead generation form of some sort, possibly your contact page. Just take this and utilize it. You know, did you love the images? Send me a message. Let's talk. You know, expecting a baby? Book now before it's too late, or something like that. You know, just a call to action to get them to actually book. And it looks like you partake in the comment ladders. Now, I'm telling you right now, Melissa, you need to stop. Shockingly enough, Google sees this as actually spam. And I'm being sarcastic about the shockingly part. And in that marketing group, there have been quite a few people who have been losing their ranks because of these comments. Like, I mean, seriously, like, their title lines are perfect, their page descriptions are good, the content's good. You know, they're high volume photographers, but all of a sudden they just drop off the face of the earth. And they deleted the comments, took them off, and within like a couple weeks they were back to where they were before. So you got to stop doing this. This is going to hurt you in the long run. I don't care what anyone else says in the world, that it will help you, because I'm not going to lie, this does help you right now. But you need to future-proof. You need to think much farther ahead into the future and think about quality content and the best user experience you can give. There's my #1 tip for you, okay? So just stop doing them completely. They're very, 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 very bad in terms of SEO. So, okay, so let's take a look at some of your galleries here. Now, I know you can click on them, but you may want to find a different way to let people know to click on them. Just because to me, I mean, immediately to me, I'm going, okay, oh yeah, these are cute little pictures, but they may not know to actually click on it, and that they can view larger images. So I would say probably have an actual slideshow here if possible, right off the bat, or you know, maybe have there's ways that if they were to, you know, hover over, let's say if they're on a computer, hover over so it gets bigger so that they know they can click on it. But I mean, I would probably say, if anything, actually have a slideshow on there. I know there's a couple plugins that you can get that will have like a thumbnail on the bottom or on the side, wherever you want it, and they work very, very well. So, but yeah, I mean, you do good work. So I don't think this would really be a quality thing. I got a funny feeling this is going to be a fairly easy video for you, to be honest. So, okay, let's go to information, kind words. Okay, so these are all of the reviews that you've gotten. Oh, I did want to mention too, with the sidebar here, I would suggest probably just kind of getting rid of it. You have much better luck with utilizing. I guess let me rephrase that. The site would look. Your site would look a lot cleaner, especially on the subsequent pages where there isn't a sidebar. Would look much cleaner having the content go all the way across. And what I mean by that is, if we go to newborn, there's no sidebar. And if we go to kind words, there's a sidebar. If I go to the blog, there's a sidebar. Obviously, the About Me had a sidebar, but you want to keep things consistent. I would much rather see this for sure in the About Me page versus everywhere. And search this site. In my experience with my clients, I have yet to see really anybody search a site, any user search a site. Very rarely do I ever actually see someone searching a site within Google Analytics. You know, a lot of the times they know where they're going. So yeah, so I'd probably just get rid of it completely. Maybe even utilize it more for, you know, especially if you want to build up a newsletter, you could do that. Recent posts, I don't like doing this either, because it's a lot of extra text that can make this. I can add a lot of dead space, as you see here. So I would just get rid of this completely. But if you wanted to, if you're adamant about keeping the sidebar, which is fine, you know, at least you have the newsletter part on here, and then have something else on here pertaining to a call to action of some sort. You know, maybe like offering a free guide in exchange for their information, such as email, phone number, name, that kind of thing. So I think you can utilize this area much better. So okay, let's go back to here, of course, take a look at investment. Okay. One thing I would consider too, this is something that was mentioned by, I forgot who it was, but the word investment could be a turnoff for some people, just because if you're going to invest in something, you're expecting to get something back. I invest in stocks. I'm hoping to make money off those stocks so I can do what I want with it. To me, I want to consider putting in there pricing versus an investment. I know it sounds more luxurious saying investment, but it doesn't make societal sense to say investment, if that makes any sense of what I'm saying. So that's something to consider. Take a free NICU session. It's only good for you. I've actually considered offering doing photography for families who have stillborns, lose their babies, or if they have children in the NICU, or special needs newborns, at least especially in my immediate area, kind of separate away from now I lay me down to sleep. So let's see, referral program. Okay. Yeah, same thing here. Honestly, for the referral program, I would just take this part out completely. They're already on your site. So hopefully, they've already gone to your About Me page to learn more about you. So I would just probably take it out, to be honest. So, and the contact page, okay. Okay, so I mean, you got a good looking site. I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple things that could change. But mainly they're mainly cosmetic. There's probably a couple marketing things you could add. Maybe call to action on the, like in the sidebar here, or even on the blog post. There's actually there is a boudoir photographer in your neck of the woods. I believe her name is Cara Marie. On every blog post, she has she rocks the blog post when it comes to doing call to actions. I would take a look at her blog post. They're at the bottom for a lead generation form. She has a way for users to contact her right on a blog post after seeing some of her sessions. And the wording she has, it makes me want to do a boudoir session with her, and I'm a guy. That's all I'm going to say. But yes, I mean, you've got a good looking site. I think there's a couple of things you could definitely improve on in terms of when it comes to a marketing standpoint, kind of cleaning things up a little bit, adding a few extra features, that kind of thing. And I just want to say this right now too. If this is a pro photo site, please get rid of it. Pro photo is very outdated when it comes to the technologies that they use in the web code. There are much better, much easier, much faster, much everything themes out there that can do everything Pro Photo can plus some. So, I mean, overall on your site, like I said, all cosmetic changes. I think you're okay. I'm liking the fun colors. I definitely have that mommy love feel, if that makes any sense. So it should make you proud, because I'm a stay-at-home dad, work from home dad. So very good job on the site. Very good, beautiful photos. Love them. Absolutely gorgeous. So now let's go down to the nitty-gritty and take a look at your SEO stuff. So, okay, sites. Okay, so you've got blog post from 1 year ago, FAQs, referral program. So it looks to me like you've kind of got the SEO part understandable. Excuse me. There's a couple things I see some improvements so far. Which, by the way, the site thing, I just want to make sure that Google can actually crawl your site and see all the pages. So that's a good sign that we see all of these results here. But looking at some of these pages here, and I could definitely add in some keywords in here for under session information, which it says under construction. Okay, let's find a more. Okay, we're gonna do this the other way. Let's go back to. Okay, let's go to the home one. Oopsie. All right, Plano newborn photographer Melissa. Title line has your name in there twice. You only need it in there once. That's extra real estate, extra characters that could be used for other stuff. And all you have to say is Plano, TX. You don't need to say Texas, but include the city and the state. Newborn photographer. And I would probably even include, too, since you do have children and family photos, I would say newborn and family photographer with your name and then in Plano, Texas in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, and then let's take a look at your page description here for the home page. And if I'm losing out on a lot of stuff that I'm doing, don't worry about it. So page description, make sure you include the city and state too, not just North Texas. Google does look at specific locations versus the they put more preference on named locations versus just areas, if that makes any sense. They do have an algorithm that will look at local neighborhoods that have a unique flavor to them, such as uptown, downtown, the Bronx, that kind of thing. The Bronx isn't a city; it's a borough, it's a neighborhood. Excuse me. So make sure you're including the city and the state. Less of a newborn, whatever childhood, celebration of family. That's good. I do like that. Nice job. It's very natural, which is not something I often see when it comes to a lot of photographers who do a lot of their own SEO. So good job on that one. Take a look at some other pages here real quick. I don't want to bore you too much. Blog post, blog post, blog post. So I mean, I want to say I definitely think you understand the SEO aspect, which is very good. Just to kind of reinforce a lot of this stuff when you're writing it, for your title lines and page descriptions. Make sure to include the city and state where the city and state for sure, and then the keywords you want to be found for. So in your case, it would be newborn and or family photography of some sort. The words photography, photographer, pics, pictures, pics with a Z, photos, that kind of thing. They're all tied into one category, so you don't need to put in both keywords. You can either just do photographer or photography, whichever one sounds more natural for you. The other thing is to make sure that your keyword keyword file naming your images. So before you upload them, make sure you change the file name to something like Baby T, Plano, Texas newborn photo session -1234, or you could even do something, or if you were traveling, Baby J, Austin, Texas newborn photos -1, -2, -3, so on and so forth. Same thing with alt text. Make sure you get descriptive on that. And by descriptive, I actually mean describing the image. A baby T laying on a pink cloth wrapped in a canvas, or wrapped in a soft canvas blanket, or something like that. Because that pertains back to user experience for people who are blind and or who are who have difficulty seeing. Because Google wants to include everyone when it comes to user experience. So, and the same, and like with your blog post. Where's one? I just saw one some here. Darcy's newborn session. Make sure there are ways you can include the location, the city and state within. You see what I mean? I was talking and this got in the way. Sorry, it's a slight pet peeve of mine. Actually, for a lot of marketers, it is, surprisingly enough. So I want to go through here real quick. Okay, so obviously in the past year, less than a year, almost a year, you've definitely increased the amount of words that you're typing, which is very, very good. I'm glad to see that. So anyway, so there is a way if you use if you use an SEO plugin such as Yoast or All-in-One SEO Pack. I think with All-in-One SEO Pack, I would assume anyway. I don't use that when I use Yoast. That you can have the title line up here be different compared to what your blog title is, and you can include the city and states or your location within the title line that Google will see versus what people will see here. Okay, it doesn't hurt to do that, to have the location in the title line here, and along with the page description as well. So, yeah. So let's see that we're in where I want to be. Okay. So let's take a look at a couple other things here real quick. A couple of tools that I use. So let me get this. Oopsie. So I have to give you kudos because it's not often that I see I go to a photographer's site and it's done very, very well in terms of marketing and design and SEO. So I applaud you for that. I'm glad that I'm happy to see that you take your business very, very seriously. There are some that I have talked to who have literally just told me they just want to take pretty pictures and that's it. They just want to get paid for what they do, and so kudos to you. I'll just leave it at that. Kudos to you. Okay, that's the one I wanted. I want this one. Probably see me go back and forth between, because you have one of those, I assume, Polish last names, or close to it. My mother she's a ski, so I know all about the Polish spellings, or something, or at least similar areas. And that was one thing I didn't take a look at. If you had... that's right, you're in Plano, Texas. Did you have your zip code on here? You did not. Okay, so one thing you do want to do, though, Melissa, is you do want to include your business name, address, and phone number. I understand that if it's your home phone, you may be a little reluctant in doing that. But Texas, Google sees you as a business, not as a person, especially when it comes to offering services. So they actually want to see that information on there. There are ways that you can hide the address later on, especially with like doing your directories, which we're going to take a look at right now. But it's necessary evil, unfortunately. And you want to put that in the footer of your website, because that's where Google actually takes a look at, looks more frequently, is for the information, and once they tie what Google has for your NAP is the acronym for it, not just a NAP, but not an actual NAP. NAP, name, address, phone number, NAP, SEO NAP, okay? When they look at their directory listing and compare it to other directory listings, and it's the same on your website, that'll boost your SEO quite significantly, actually. Excuse me. Okay, so you're on Google Super Pages and Yelp, which is good to see. You want Facebook, Foursquare, and Bing as well. You could do. You don't want to do Info Group, Local Ease, Factual, or Axiom, because those you all have to pay for. They're the huge, big data aggregate companies out there. They sell data to other marketing agencies who might do direct mail pieces. They also sell it to other advertising firms, that kind of thing. But the other ones like Yellow Pages and let's take a look here, Insider Pages and City Search, and what was the other one I was thinking of? Super Pages. They all pull information from Google and Bing and everyone else to get their information. So it looks like you do have a slightly incomplete profile, which is just adding the category, and then adding no photos. Okay, so just adding one more category, you'll be fine. You'll be good to go. So yeah, just get Bing, Facebook, and Foursquare, and you'll be good to go. Speaking of which, since I know that you have Facebook, I can probably tell you why you're not showing up on that. They changed everything around, didn't they? Okay. Never mind. We won't worry about that for right now. Okay, so close that. Check one more thing here real quick, and then I will leave you be because I have talked way too much. So I'm going to check your backlinks right now. So the first tool we use was designed by a company who makes products specific for SEO professionals, and this is another one of them. Another product that they offer, for SEO professionals. It's not 100% accurate, just like the last tool that we took a look at, but it at least gives us some information. The first one checks your directory listings. This one checks your backlinks, but it's not going to be as accurate as what Search Console has. So that'll be your best bet. But I mean, here though, it looks like you've got four total backlinks. Definitely could use more. Backlinks are a little hard to get nowadays. They're still kind of they're kind of in a gray area almost to some bloggers and to some people in general. First they were good, then they were bad. Now they're good again. Now they're kind of indifferent. But a recent study done by a very reputable consulting agency in the digital marketing world found that actually having backlinks, quality backlinks, is very, very, very important. So, so this, you have 4, but I mean none of them really seem to be anything questionable, as in terms of if they're spam wise. So, but anyway, Melissa, I mean, I think you've got it down pat. There's a couple things you can probably change. It's if you want some help with that, I can definitely help you with that. Let me know. We can have a discussion about that. And then, I mean, I think you've got it down pretty pat. If you can make some of those recommendations, I think things will be a little more consistent, if that makes any sense. So, but yeah, anyway, so thank you for letting me take a look at your site. Thank you for letting me critique everything for you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Don't hesitate to ask any more questions or anything in general. So thanks again, Melissa. We'll talk to you later.